27-year-old Brianna Benson would get a retrial, but decided instead to continue that decision another month. Today, our David Winter spoke to the defense attorney and the family of the victim, Maddie Hart. She is the 18-year-old college freshman who was run down, dragged, and killed back in 2017. David, good evening.
Good evening, Kyle. This is the fourth continuance since a judge back in March decided to consider whether to grant a new trial for Brianna Benson. She was 20 years old when, back in 2017, she got in a fight with then 18-year-old Maddie Hart, a fight that would alter the course of one life and end another.
Smart kid, fun-loving, people like being around her. I think she was a good friend. I think that's what got her in trouble that night.
Maddie Hart's parents sat down with us at the same park where their daughter used to play in Delhi Township. Steve Hart is referring to that fateful night in March 2017 when Maddie and Brianna Benson ended up brawling. At trial, the prosecution claimed that Brianna then took Maddie's keys. Maddie can be seen here pounding on Brianna's car. Then the video shows Brianna hitting Maddie, knocking her to the ground, and dragging her 90 feet. Maddie would later die at the hospital.
She backed up, then went forward, accelerated forward, and turned into her.
The prosecutor at the trial, Joe Dieters, argued that Brianna intentionally hit Maddie. The defense says it was an accident.
My client vehemently denies that this was an intentional act.
But the jury would never hear from an expert defense witness to refute the prosecution's claims due to a technicality. Benson was convicted in 2018 and given 18 years. Then earlier this year, a judge granted a hearing to determine whether the technicality was enough to render the first trial unfair and whether to grant a new trial.
You know, the Lord put us in this position for a reason. He thought we could handle it. And we have handled it. But I thought we were done. And we're not done. So if it goes back to trial, then we'll fight for our daughter again, you know.
Making matters worse, that decision was delayed a fourth time by the court. New defense attorney H. Lewis Sirkin told me over the phone the judge has a very busy schedule with a lot to consider, and this is an important decision. Prosecutor Melissa Powers says the court system needs to better consider the turmoil these continuances cause all involved.
There are more people involved here that there needs to be some empathy and compassion for. And if you can't make a decision in 30 days, or you don't even think it's possible because of your workload, maybe continue it 6 months. But this continuance after continuance after continuance is very hard on a victim and their family.
That nobody wins. Nobody wins in this whole thing. It makes me sad. The whole thing makes me sad. But there has to be some justice, and you have to have consequences for what you've done. Otherwise, what kind of a society or world are we living in? Because there's no real justice. It's not like I get to have Maddie back.
Yeah.
Maddie would be 25 years old today. The judge is scheduled to make a decision on October 19th whether to grant a new trial. Kyle?
All right, David, thank you so much. And Local 12 will be at that hearing and bring you the decision just as soon as it is made.
Sure, you could stop watching now, but let's be honest, you want to see more. So click some of those links, or better yet, go ahead and tap subscribe. That way you'll catch more content from Local 12.